I want to say Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutation to you brothers out here that are doing this work in true sincerity. I'd like to say Mawathlot Babel, which is death to Babylon, and Lord willing, this is edifying to you brothers out there that's doing this truth and sincerity. And it's not going to be a real quick video, but I want to go ahead and put this out there. This is Ezekiel 25 and 11. And I will execute judgment upon Moab, Moab being the Chinese, and they shall know that I am the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, power, because at Edom, Edom being a so-called white man, when you go into the Hebrew word Edom, it means red. And it says, have dealt against the house of Judah, which is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. You know, it says, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off men and beasts from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the Dan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And Israel represents the southern and northern kingdom. You know, the Lord is going to take vengeance upon these heathens by the hand of his people Israel, which is the so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans, according to prophecy. It says, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger, right? Because the spirit of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, is going to be upon his people in that day, man. It says, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. So like the scripture says, for vengeance is of the Lord. For through that vengeance of Yahweh Shai, Shai, he's going to use his people to bring that vengeance upon the other nations, because these other nations are going into captivity under the so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans, mainly the elect, you know. And when you go back into Revelations 13, 9, and 10, the scripture says, he that leaveth into captivity shall go into captivity. And all these nations, starting with Edom, Ishmael, Edom being a so-called white man, Ishmael being Arabs, the Moabites being the Chinese, and the Ammonites being the Japanese, and the Hamites being the so-called Africans, they all have had a part in the captivity of our people. They all have conspired against you so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans, and they have conditioned you to their way of living. So now the Lord is what? He's going to take vengeance upon them, and he's going to put them in captivity, you know, under his people. And there is not going to be of them coming back into power ever again. You know, the kingdom is going to be given unto the Lord's people forever and ever, man. And it says, thus saith the Lord power, because of Philistines, the Philistines being the Hamites, have dealt by vengeance and have taken vengeance, Salakia, by revenge, and have taken vengeance with a despiteful heart to destroy it for the old hatred. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will stretch out my hand upon the Philistines, and I will cut off the Chedoms, and destroy the remnant of the seacoast, and I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebukes, and they shall know that I am the Lord when I shall lay my vengeance upon them. So the Lord is going to lay his vengeance upon all these heathens. Real quick, I wanted to go back up here to Ezekiel 25 and 12. It says, matter of fact, let me just get to the point here. 14, it says, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, man. So hey, when you go here to let's go to Jeremiah 51, and we could start at, let's start at 20. It says, thou art my battle axe. Well, we start at 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, right? The portion of Jacob is not like these heathens, man. You know, these heathens, they seek after wickedness, but you have 2/3 of our people that also have seeking after the wickedness. That's why 2/3 of our people, which is the so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans, are going to get put to death by the Lord Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. You know, it says the portion of Jacob is not like them, for is the former of all things, right? Jacob is the inventor of all things. And I was just thinking about something. When you go back into the book of Deuteronomy, it came back to mind. The Lord said, "For I would not have you possess these nations because of your uprightness or because of your righteousness, but because of their wickedness." So at a point of time, Israel, being a righteous people of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, but still are the righteous people of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which is mainly the elect. During that time, the Lord had Israel conquer a lot of countries and nations because of their wickedness, and now the Lord is bringing us back to that, to be conquerors over these nations. It says, "The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war." So Israel is the Lord's battle axe and the weapons of war. He's going to use the elect to conquer these nations, man. It says, "For with thee will I break in pieces the nations." So there you go. The scriptures speak for themselves, man. It says, "And with thee will I destroy kingdoms, and with thee will I break in pieces the horses and his riders, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his riders." Salakia. It says, "With thee also will I break in pieces men and women, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid." Matter of fact, that's beautiful, man. Hey, I'm gonna go into Ezekiel 9 and 4. It says, "And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem." Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. "And set a mark upon the foreheads of the man that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof." And that's the elect of Israel. "And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women." You know what I'm saying? But it says, "But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary." Right? Begin at the Lord's sanctuary, which is who? You so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you two-third ass niggas. It says, "Then they began at the ancient man, which were before the house." And there's one more scripture I wanted to grab, but it dropped from my mind. Lord willing, it comes back before this video ends. But let's go ahead and grab this Jeremiah back. Jeremiah 51, 20. It says, "Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms, and with thee will I break in pieces the horses and his riders, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariots and his riders. With thee also will I break in pieces men and women, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. And I will break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers." And that's beautiful, man. Because that's what we going into, is that the Lord is going to use the elect men to what? Put you other nations in subjection, man. And it just came back to mind. This is Jeremiah 16 and 16. This is Jeremiah 16:16. It says, "Behold, I will send for many fishers," right? Because you have brothers out there fishing for the elect. It says, "Saith the Lord, and they shall fish them." And the scripture says, "They shall fish them." So we coming into a time where the elect will be sealed. The scripture says, hold back the four winds until the elect be sealed." It says, "Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters." Ooh, so hey, those men that's fishing is going to be turned into hunters, man. "And they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks." Oh man, this is beautiful. When you get into these scriptures, man, you could paint a picture. It's beautiful, man, and that's why the Spirit have us doing this work, man. The scripture says, "For the Spirit was upon me to teach unto the meek," man. The meek being the humble, the elect. Hey, so that's beautiful, man. So let's go ahead and grab this back. Ezekiel 25 and 14. It says, "And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai." So, hey, man, I like to say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there doing this work in true sincerity. I like to say Mawafla Babel, which is death to Babylon. And Lord willing, this was edifying to you brothers out there that's doing this work in true sincerity. Real quick, I wanted to grab one more scripture, and then I believe it's in Psalms 2 and 8. It says, "Acts of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the othermost parts of the earth for thy possession." When you go into the book of Revelation, the scripture says, "He that endureth shall rule the nations with a rod of iron," man. So brothers need to keep pushing, endure hardness as a soldier of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and Lord willing, we be part of the elect, and we can rule over these nations with a rod of iron. I like to say Shalom.